Today I am out in the burbs, out of Bart's place out here. He's gonna be my suburban tour guide. And the reason we're out here is that we're gonna go look for a truck for me to buy. And the suburbs just have a better selection. Albeit, it is apparently the absolute worst time to buy a truck or car in history, because there's a semiconductor shortage during COVID that has basically caused a shortage of supply and prices are skyrocketing. So with that in mind, it's a terrible time to buy a truck, but I almost died 2 weeks ago. So we're gonna do a little bit more living for the present, even if it isn't always the smartest decision. Let's go buy a truck. So I made this decision to buy a truck when I was in the hospital. It's just something that I've been needing to do. I was holding out for the Cybertruck, but kind of realized that that's going to be delayed. We don't know when it's coming out. And I will talk about gas versus electric and that decision a little later in the video. But as soon as I started doing some research on a truck to buy right now, the first thing I found out is that it is the absolute worst time in history to buy a car or truck. Apparently there's a semiconductor shortage going on. Average car prices are up by about 40%, average trucks up by 24%, and average time on a dealer lot is down from 70 days pre-pandemic to now 17 days. Rules of car buying traditionally are apparently out the window. There's no haggling, no negotiation. Something like 90% of cars are going for above MSRP. And the traditional thought of buying used, which I've always done, buy a 1 or 2 year old used car, save a little bit of money. Apparently used cars are just as expensive to the point where it almost doesn't even make sense to buy a used car. So for the first time ever, I'm gonna be entertaining the option of a new truck. On the flip side, there is a little bit of benefit. So trade-in values are at a record high right now. So I'll get a little bit of benefit from the crazy market right now that should hopefully cancel out at least some of the negatives of buying in the worst buyer's market in history. Rolling into the first place we're gonna go is a Toyota dealership. I'm thinking full size, half ton. So we're gonna be looking at the Tundra. They just had a new 2022 Tundra, so I think that's what we're gonna be hoping to find. They're in short supply, so we'll see if we can find one.
Yeah, kind of slim pickings.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of space. That was a complete strikeout there at the first Toyota dealership. Walked in, said we wanted to look at a Tundra, and none there. None, zero. I do like the 2022 Tundra on paper and everything I'm seeing about it, so I definitely want to try to get a test drive in, but not at this dealership. I guess we're gonna head over to the Chevy dealership across the street and see if there's some better luck. So we just rolled up to the Chevy dealership and they have literally 2 trucks. Only one of them is pretty cool, and I want to get a cool truck. So we're gonna look at a Chevy RST. Right away, I know I'm a sucker for leather. No leather. This is the interesting part because there's also no runner boards, and I'm definitely still a little gimpy from my surgery, so yeah. I don't know why I get really nervous when I'm test driving a car, like a brand new one.
How do you like the red color?
It's not what I would pick for a truck, to be honest.
Right.
But, you know, we can make a video about like doing a DIY paint or wrap or something to change. Colors can be changed.
So it's not a deal breaker for you that your truck is red?
No, no. Honestly, the bigger thing I'm concerned about is I like my leather seats, and I like a sunroof because I just like a sunroof, or moonroof, or whatever. While this is cool, it doesn't feel very 2022. Like this is kind of like the same size as my GTI from 2016, as far as like the whole way the interior and all looks. Moving on to the Ford dealership. I kind of have my eye on an F-150 trimmer model, which are kind of like this blend between like a street style but also off-road. Kind of feels very industrial, so I'm gonna go in. Hopefully the ones we saw sitting out in the lot are actually still for sale and not just like held for somebody. So cross your fingers, let's go in. So they don't have any trimmers here, nothing new. They just sold all their ones they had, but they do have a rare find, a used 2020 Roush Racing modified F-150. So explain to me what the Roush is.
So basically what Ford does is we take new cars off of our lots, we send it to Roush. So sometimes they'll add a supercharger and turn it into like a stage 2. They'll do their own custom lift, own custom rims, custom exhaust, custom interiors.
What's this one got, like horsepower and torque?
Right, so this one's just a regular 5.0 V8. Horsepower is probably somewhere around 375.
So this is more like an appearances Roush.
100%.
It's not like a 800 horsepower super truck quite. I don't really need that, but
Hey, especially with the gas mileage, yeah.
yeah, I still gotta use this thing, right? Daily driver, so.
You just go straight and then we're gonna take a right at the stop sign. Okay. And then we can take this light, keep going straight.
What'd you think?
That is a beautiful truck. It matches my kitchen, which is a good thing. All right, so we just drove about 45 minutes to another Ford dealer. This one's got a trimmer in stock and a couple roaches and something called a Waldock, which is another sort of third-party badassery modified truck. So yeah, this one actually has some selection, like more than one choice. So hopefully we'll find something here. Let's see.
Nice
We got the
interior.
Ram TRX. This is like what, $100,000 truck right here.
No big deal.
Yeah, maybe a little over my budget, but it's pretty sweet. Look at that. That's a screen. Hey, we're just checking this one out while we're waiting.
Absolutely. Nice to meet you, Mike. Justin will be the gentleman answering all your questions. He'll be the star of the show, I guess, and everything like that.
I do streaming on the side, so that's
cool. What game?
It's usually a mix between more modern Call of Duty.
What's your streamer name?
Lego.
Lego. Okay. I don't know if you knew renovation people watch video games, but if you do, Lego, go follow this guy. So let's go check out the trimmer.
Oh yeah, man.
Look at this. We got
there you
tape
go.
measures built in. Got a little stand here. I saw this, right? So you can put your phone in, right? Put some instructions here. You can measure, saw.
Man, easy. So it's just push, drop.
So even grandma can come along.
You guys on
Leather and cloth interior here. Looks like we got a 120 volt outlet here and we have USB chargers. Yeah, USB-C, nice. Graceful way. Tuck that out of the way. I was a fan of that trimmer. I liked the drive, pretty much everything about it. I would have liked black, but right now the pickings are slim. This is an XLT 150, this Waldock modification, and it is actually a hybrid. So I'm curious. It is like $70,000, so it's a little over what I wanted to pay, but we're gonna give it a test drive and just see. We'll see what happens.
Are you buying a truck for the truck value or for comfort value?
You know, I want to think for the truck value, but probably more the comfort most of the time. Okay, so they have another Roush here, similar to the other one, but the other one was 71,000. This one's 61,000 with 20,000 miles, which is totally acceptable for a used truck. This one is actually the Roush, like not the appearance package. This is the full, like supercharged 600-700 horsepower beast, but it's actually less expensive. So we're just gonna test drive it and see what happens. I'm a little scared. This is, I don't know. This might be too much truck for me. Let's see.
No such thing. You know, you're not friends if you don't make fun of each other. Right?
No, that's
730 horsepower.
Holy goodness.
Let's see it.
Holy crap. I didn't even like come close to flooring it. I'm a little scared. Do we have the double moonroof in this one?
Yes. No, this one will vent it, and then we'll make it right at the intersection up here, actually at the green light.
Let's see if we can.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, dude. Holy. Oh, you feel that? Holy.
That was cool.
Whoa.
That's like a sports car.
Yeah.
It's like a freaking supercharged sports car.
I don't know if I need this, but I do enjoy it. Oh, need it. All right, well, we just went into the Toyota dealership to check out a pretty freaking badass Tundra. And they said we couldn't film there, so I don't know. And they also are marking it up $10,000 over MSRP. I don't know, Bart, what do you think?
It's a cool truck, but they're kind of taking you for a ride.
Yeah. I mean, the Fords were charging $5,000 over MSRP for a more expensive truck. $10,000, like, there's a point where you know it's kind of not the best decision, but you're like, you know what? You only live once. $10,000 over MSRP, I just feel like I'm getting fleeced. Like I start to feel more like I'm making, it doesn't feel as good anymore. So we got some decisions to make. I'm gonna go drop Bart off. He's been a sport. This has been a fun day. I just gotta go think things over and we'll do a little talking when I get back home about all the things we saw and try to figure out what to buy. I will see you guys back at the building. So let's sit down and figure out from all these options what the pros and cons are and hopefully make a decision about a truck to buy. Before we get into all the options, I want to talk really quickly about electric versus gas, because I know I'm going to get questions about some of the electric trucks coming out like the Rivian, F-150 Lightning, and Cybertruck. Basically, right now, if you want to get a truck in 2022, getting electric is not very likely. You can put money down on F-150 Lightning, but realistically, I'm hearing Q3, Q4, or maybe 2023 to actually take delivery. Same thing with the Rivian, looking at probably 8 months to a year delivery. I have a deposit still on the Cybertruck, but again, that kind of got pushed back. We don't even have like a positive release date except like hopefully in 2023. At the end of the day, I love the idea of an electric truck, but it just doesn't seem like there's actually one that's going to be available within the next year. Plus, I don't really drive that much locally. I don't have to commute to work because I work right here in the building. And the more you drive, the more benefit you get from electric and vice versa. So the benefit of an electric for me over gas is not as great as some other folks. So that's why I ruled out an electric truck. So on to the contenders. First up is the 2022 Toyota Tundra. On paper, I went into this search actually thinking that the Tundra was the top contender. Apparently, however, I am not the only one that thinks that, because they're extremely hard to find. Everything I saw, they were going like 10, 15 grand over the asking price. In fact, when I was at the Toyota dealership looking at the one that they wouldn't let me film, they said they had an offer at $10,000 over MSRP and said if I wanted it, I could make an offer for $15,000 over MSRP. Just know I'm not getting into a bidding war. I know it's a bad buyer's market, but I'm just not going to do that. Supply is not expected to pick up until 2023, maybe even 2024, when the semiconductor shortage gets sorted out. So even though I really like the Tundra, it kind of seems like it is not really an option to buy right now, unless you want to get a used one. But again, I hate buying a 2021 when they just totally redesigned everything in 2022 and made it quite a bit better. I also want to talk about some of the brands that I didn't look at. I know there are big fans of Ram, GMC, and Chevy trucks out there. The Ram, honestly, it looks like a great truck. I just don't like the shape of the Ram trucks. They have kind of this bulbous rounded hood that I just don't like the look of, just a personal thing. Then you have Chevy and GMC, which are basically built on the same platforms with some different exterior packages. Those both got redesigns for 2022, but none of those 2022s are available yet. So buying one that's on the lot, like the Chevy that we looked at, you're paying for a new truck, but it's already a dated model. And I did a little research on Consumer Reports. The GMCs and Chevys are the worst in reliability out of all trucks. Apparently there's been some sort of major engine issues. For those two reasons combined, I just kind of decided to rule out the GMC and the Chevy. That kind of gets us down to the Fords. The F-150 wall duck was about 75,000 or so, which just was stretching the budget more than I wanted to. Also was going for 6,000 or 7,000 over MSRP. So I decided to rule that one out. Basically, it's coming down to the Roush F-150 versus the Tremor. The Roush was insanely fun to drive. The interior was super nice, except that it had that older infotainment system. The F-150 Tremor had the brand new Ford interior with the big infotainment and a lot of the nicer, newer features that weren't in the 2020 model. But the seats were kind of a mix of cloth and leather, at least on the option that I looked at. Didn't like that as much. Gas mileage, the Tremor is probably gonna get like 18 or 19 miles a gallon, whereas that Roush Racing, 11 or 12 miles per gallon. 11 miles per gallon is kind of hard to stomach. And there's one other consideration that weighed pretty big, and that is having a four-wheel drive auto option. Neither of them had it. It had just four-wheel drive high and low. The four-wheel drive auto apparently is a much, much better drive mode for the mixed snowy, wet conditions that you get here in Chicago. From the research I've done, the four-wheel drive auto mode makes a big difference. So the truck doesn't turn into an uncontrollable fishtailing object as it goes down a snowy street. So if I want the truck in the next week, which is the whole goal, because I'm making a video about it, wouldn't be a good video if I don't have a truck to show you guys at the end. I'm gonna extend my search a little bit more and just see if maybe within a day's drive, say 500 miles of Chicago, I could find a Tundra that's available or an F-150 Tremor that has all the options I want. If not, I think I'd be pretty happy with either the Roush or the F-150 Tremor that I looked at. So I've narrowed it down, but I guess I haven't really fully made the decision yet. Let's have a little fun with it. Head down to the comment section, leave a comment. What do you think I'm gonna pick? We'll find out how many people got it right at the end of the video. I'm gonna go do that research and then we'll pick it up when I am on the way to go buy a truck. I will see you guys then. Before we go further, a quick message from this video's amazing sponsor, ARIAT Work. Normally this is where I tell you about how I've been wearing all of ARIAT Work stuff on the job site, doing all the projects, whatever I'm doing in the video, except, well, while I'm recovering from my surgery, I can't really be working. But that doesn't mean that I haven't had any ARIAT Work on. In fact, right now, I got this awesome ARIAT rebar, super tough and durable work sweatshirt. They also make some really cool work sweatpants, since I can't wear jeans right now. Not only are they super comfortable while I'm recovering from surgery, they're also made of some super thick fabric, super durable stitching. I'll leave a link in the description to those items and also include a link to a page with all of my normal ARIAT Work favorites. And I won't drag this on too long, but one of the things you can do if you want to support this channel is check out the channel sponsors, especially the ones that have been with me for a long time, like ARIAT Work. Been working with them for over 2 years. So if you or anybody you know is in the market for some new workwear, definitely check them out. Much love to ARIAT Work for supporting the project and the channel on an ongoing basis. And now let's get back to the video. All right, guys, well, today is the day. I have found a truck. I'm not gonna tell you what it is just yet. It is not one of the ones we looked at. It's similar to it, but we'll leave it for a surprise. We're actually heading to Ohio right now. I got ANDREI with me. You guys might remember him helping me out. He's got his own YouTube channel as well. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun little road trip to go pick this thing up. I went to the bank this morning to get the down payment, get a cashier's check, and the printer was broken. So right now we are balling. That's like more cash than I've ever had in my purse in my entire life. So yeah, those are all hundreds. And in case you're wondering, one benefit of this market is the upside of trade-in. I paid $29,000 for this car back in 2016, and granted, I only drive a few miles, so it literally only has like 21,000 miles now, but they're gonna give me 20.5K trade-in. So 5 years of use, and it only went down from 29 to 20.5K. That's pretty solid trade-in value. The sticker shock at the pump, $5.16 per gallon. Woo. So I just realized that was really stupid. I was like, you know what, I'm driving, I got a long drive there and back, so let me just fill up, top it off while we're stopping to use the restroom. Except then I realized I'm not driving this car back. I'm driving the other one.
Oh, that. He has ADD.
You're welcome, Terry Hendricks Ford. You're welcome for the free gas. While we're in the car driving out there, just want to take a quick minute and thank everybody for all the comments and well wishes that I got in the last video talking about my medical situation. The outpouring of love that I felt was just unbelievable. So I just want to say thank you. It kind of got me also thinking, in the big picture, I'm incredibly lucky. I'm healing, I'm driving right now, so things are looking up. And there's a lot of people in the world right now who are definitely not as lucky as I am. So I was just talking to ANDREI, who's actually born in the Ukraine. I said, when did you came over? How old were you when you came over?
I moved in 97. I was as a teenager. I was 13 years old.
And you still have like family over there in Ukraine, huh?
Yeah, I have grandparents there. I have cousins. Yeah, Ukraine's been home. Seeing this happening today in 2022 in my home country, especially with from our brotherly neighbor, because I grew up speaking Russian. That's my first language. It's just it's unreal. It's unreal what's happening, and every day people are children are dying, families are losing their homes. Everybody's it's just it's tough. It's tough to watch.
I think everyone feels a little bit powerless, and they want you want to do something to help. But do you have any charity recommendations that people could donate to if they're interested?
Absolutely. I chose a New York City-based nonprofit called Razom for Ukraine, which is it basically translates as Together for Ukraine. They're helping folks on the ground level with humanitarian aid.
$500 we're going to put into that, and then hopefully, if you guys are so inclined, if you're in a position where you can, I'll leave a link in the description. I help out folks in the Ukraine who are dealing with stuff that most of us can probably not even, can't even really imagine what they're going through. So, all right, so how do we transition back from that? Well, back to buying a truck. About 12 miles to go until the dealership. The last 12 miles on GTI, get a little teary-eyed. One other thing is we're going to pick up this car. I guess I'm a little nervous because I just bought this truck based on the pictures on the internet, never having seen it in person. Definitely a little risky, but in the worst car buying environment in history, I guess that's what the risk you have to take for a deal. So cross your fingers for me. We're really out here now, huh? We got silos, hay bales, and tractors all over. I'm gonna miss you, baby. You were good to me, very good to me. You just needed to be a little bit bigger rear end. That's all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna present to you my new F-150 trimmer and anti-matter blue.
Got it?
So ANDREI, you enjoying it?
I'm loving
Nice
it.
bed.
It's really comfortable.
Heating up. It's definitely a little bigger than the GTI.
Wait, is this
It's a bird poo.
you know what that means, right?
It's good luck.
Money.
Yeah, money. The dealership had it when the bird pooped, so that means the dealership is the one getting the money. So watch this, my graceful entry, the GIMP. I have to kind of climb in. Oh yeah. Android Auto, that's key. Settings. Okay, I'll check this out. So you get camera, 360 degrees. So you can see the car next to us. The front. There's like a wider front. Truck bed. Oh, you can add your own camera. The towing hook. And then backup camera. So I'm like so nervous right now. Just be like, oh, this is by far the most expensive car I've ever owned. This is like Archbold.
Your destination is on the left.
It's a cute little like Main Street USA type place.
Oh, totally. Look at that diner. It's really cool.
Yeah. Look at that. Oh yeah. Oh, wow. So we are in Mom's Diner right now. It's just a little pit stop recommended by the local folks at the dealership. That's one rule I always have for travel is like whenever you're in a place, just stop for a second, ask people that live there where they like to go, what they like to do, what they recommend, and you'll discover some of the most amazing hidden gems and places you'd never expect. Like this place is just like straight out of like Leave It to Beaver or something from the 50s. Anyway, we're gonna get a burger and then get back on the road.
And oh, there's the owner right there.
Coke cheers. You want to turn this into an ASMR channel? Just like we get the close up, like
Oh yeah, exactly. It's like
gotta chew with your mouth open.
Exactly.
I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
How would you rate it?
Dude, that was a 10 out of 10 for like dive bars or dive restaurants of America, or was it diners, drive-ins, and something TV show? Yeah, that for sure should be on there.
Continue on I-90 West for 189 miles.
It's a little bigger gas tank than I'm used to. $137 to fill it up. Actually, that's not even filling up because it's got a 36-gallon tank. So I guess fill up would be over 150. I have to change my mindset a little bit. Good thing I don't drive all that much in the city. I'm back in Chicago and I've had the trimmer now for about 4 or 5 days, and gotta say, I absolutely love it. And I wanna give you guys some insight as to why I ultimately went with the trimmer that was in Ohio and not the one that was here. So first up, going with the trimmer versus the F-150 Roush, 25-year-old me would have 100% gone with the Roush. Who cares about the gas mileage? It was just fun. Older me, I care more about the gas mileage, and the trimmer just seemed like a more practical daily driver. So why did it go with the 2021 trimmer versus the 2022 that we test drove here in Chicago? The 2021 had only 7,000 miles on it, so it was basically new, but I actually paid under the MSRP for that one by about 800 bucks, whereas the 2022 was 5,000 over the MSRP. The 2021 had the highest option package on it, whereas the new 2022 that we test drove had a medium level option package on it. So that high level option added the leather seats, the 360 camera, the auto 4-wheel drive. We talked about that. That's a huge feature. It had heated and cooled seats, and it has these awesome self-driving features. It'll stay in the lane on the highway and turn for you, and it will actually parallel park for you. It was the exact set of options that I wanted, and it feels weird saying 800 under MSRP for a truck with 7,000 miles is a good deal. But in this market, wanting the truck, wanting to buy it right now, that actually was a really good deal, probably the best you're gonna do in the worst buyer's market in history. And a quick health update for those of you who are following regularly, the incision and everything in the stomach is healing up great. It's all good news there. Doctors just gave me clearance to start gradually doing a little bit more strenuous activity. Just got the final parts I need to finish the kitchen. So the kitchen reveal tour will hopefully be filmed in a week or so. I'm also going to start working on the master bathroom renovation. Very excited to get back to the renovation work because I've kind of been going stir crazy. If you're new here and just found me for this video, make sure you're sub and bell to follow along for all the fun as we're renovating this abandoned building. That's it for this time, and I'll see you guys next time.